Okay, today we are playing a game on Watchpoint Gibraltar. The average SR of this game was roughly 1,750, and we will be playing Soldier the entire way through. And our current team composition is Orisa, Soldier, Hanzo, Symmetra, Bastion, and Mercy. So it's a very silver SR team, and it's pretty terrible. But here's the thing, we're in silver SR, so people don't know how to play their heroes anyway, so we kinda also don't really care what our team comp is. And this will come up in the game. We will see an enemy Genji who, and an enemy Widowmaker who, So, in the accompanying email, it said two things. Well, it said a couple of things, but it was basically two questions. The first question was, in low SR, fights tend to be very prolonged. There isn't a clear, alright, whole enemy team is dead, we're gonna reset moment, because the fight is usually really prolonged and takes forever for everyone to actually die. So the question was, when do you know how to reset onto high ground in that kind of, prolonged melee situation? And the other question was, how do you get value out of TAC Visor other than the usual stand on high ground business? So, answer the first question first, as one typically does. Basically, whenever you think your team has it, is when you do it, because if you see, Genji trying to fight your Winston and Mercy, the fight's still happening, but they've got that situation under control, so you can just take that opportunity to reset up on the high ground. The other reason is, if you think you going up onto the high ground is gonna give you a big enough advantage that it can justify you leaving the fight for a couple of seconds. It is usually only a couple of seconds, because Soldier can reposition very quickly. He can run up to the stairs and then up the stairs very quickly, which is very unusual for an elderly man, but Soldier's very special. So, basically, if you've got TAC Visor, you will want to reset onto the high ground, kind of regardless if a fight is happening usually, because TAC Visor is better on the high ground. So it's going to give you a big enough advantage that you can justify resetting on the high ground, even though the fight is still happening. So those are the reasons, basically, you think your team's got it, or it's going to give you an advantage. Or, if your team definitely fucking doesn't have it, and you can see that everybody's getting wrecked, and you'll probably get wrecked as well, then you take that opportunity to reset on the high ground further back, because you're going to need to be in there in the near future. So, the other question, how do you get value out of TAC Visor other than the usual stand on the high ground? The biggest thing is that it depends on what their main tank is, usually. Because it was easier, actually, when we mostly just played Reinhardt and Zarya as our tanks. Because, Reinhardt's shield can kind of fuck TAC Visor, but at the same time, it's kind of easy to get around it. And when Reinhardt commits to a fight, he has to make a decision of blocking versus attacking, so there's usually you can either work around it, or there are set times where it's good to use it. Now, however, we are often playing against a Diva or a Winston, both of whom are actually more difficult to work with, because Defense Matrix, she can just reposition onto you immediately and block your entire sphere of influence, and what can you do about that? Not very much, except try and run around Diva, or hope that she runs out of Defense Matrix. And Winston's bubble is all-encompassing. So if he sees you doing it, he puts it on top of you, or he just puts it over his team, that's kind of inconvenient. Because it actually will take you a while to get through the bubble without any help. So you have to play around whatever the enemy team's main tank is. If it's Diva, try and keep track of the Diva and figure out roughly how much defense matrix she has. If you see her holding it for 3 seconds, that's most of the duration of defense matrix. So you can just start using it, and even if she blocks you, she won't fully block you, so you'll get some advantage out of it. Or, failing that, just break Diva's mech before you use it. This is kinda difficult for Soldier, because it takes him a little while to kill Diva's mech. But those are the two things to do with Diva. If it's Winston, try and play around his bubble's cooldown, you saw his bubble break, or you saw him leave it somewhere else. Now you can use the TAC Visor, and he can't, no-sell you with it. And Reinhardt, if he charges in, then that's an obvious time to use it, because he's gonna leave his team behind. If he Earth Shatters, it can be worth just doing it anyway, because he's gonna wanna go in off of his Earth Shatter, and then you make him choose, do I want to capitalize on my Earth Shatter, or do I want to block for my team? And you'll fuck with him regardless. You'll either fuck with him, and cancel out Earth Shatter, which is a very scary ultimate, so it's definitely worth canceling out, or you'll kill his team if he decides to leave them behind. So, and then there's the other general stuff of, and like, if his shield is broken, then whatever the fuck, right? And then there's the other general stuff of stand on high ground, or wait until like 1 or 2 important people are out of position, and then just use Tac Visor to kill them really quickly because they're out of position. So, but mostly it's like playing around the enemy team's main tank. Like the other tanks, Roadhog is not a tank or a hero in the game, so we don't have to worry about that. Zarya's bubbles are not long-lasting enough or healthy enough to really worry about playing around. And Orissa's barrier tends to get broken in the middle of a fight, and if not, you can reposition around it very easily because it's a stationary barrier. So, those are, you want to play around the enemy team's main tank, basically. And then there's the general stuff of stand on high ground, wait until people are out of position. So, hopefully that answers your questions. If not, let me know, I'll try to expand further. So, let's just start the game. So, we're defending on Gibraltar right now. And, our Symmetra is not really going to perform a legal maneuver, but she gets away with it. Because there's no justice in the world. Sebastian killed Lucio. Symmetra's going to kill Reinhardt and Widowmaker. The fact she killed a Widowmaker is perplexing and depressing. So, And they have a Symmetra as well, because of course they do. So here, Genji's coming up here, he's flipping around, he's doing his thing, he's playing Genji, you know how it is. I've just realized I need to move my camera, because our man has put in the captions his thought process during this game. So I'm going to be blocking it off if I'm down there. So we're going to go up here. So Genji's flipping around, doing his thing right now. We kill the Genji, and then we just leave. Here's the thing. You can see Orisa has gotten fucked up by this Genji. So, and Bastion is not full HP either. Just go put your biotic field over there, because they kind of need it. You've only got 1 healer right now as well. When you've only got 1 healer, and you're playing Soldier, you're kind of the second healer. You're not really, you're not a healer, but you do sort of have to try and be a healer. So if you see people in this kind of position, you want to go over there. And you want to go over there and put the biotic field with them anyway, because you can see they're getting fucked up. And Symmetra's still firing her balls over here and everything. And Bastion gets killed. Maybe he lives if we do that. We'll never know, because it happened in a parallel universe. But go and put your biotic field with people who are low HP. So, we're going around the backside right now. Oh, fuck, there's a shield, teleporter right there. That was really surprising to me the first time I watched this one through. I was like, what the fuck is that doing there? People do some interesting things sometimes. So, it's currently Symmetra and Lucio in this pit. So we don't want to go anywhere near the pit. Here comes D.Va. I don't think D.Va forgets you're there. I think she's actually just trying to get the Mercy, because she can't kill you through Mercy, obviously. So, here, I think we kind of outthink this, where we're like, oh, I'm going to go over here and get the large health kit. Just, keep shooting at the D.Va, honestly. You're not there. She poses actual 0 threat to you. And if the thought is, I'm going to take the large health kit away from her so that she can't use it during the fight, here's a neat little trick, right? If she gets more health while she's 0% threat to you, you actually just get more ult charge. So if she picks up the health kit, it's actually a benefit from you, because you'll get to farm D.Va even more, while she poses an actual 0% threat to you. So just, keep shooting at the D.Va. Don't even worry about it, dog. So here we're thinking about moving to the catwalk above the checkpoint. That would be, this is a perfectly good time to do that, because you're like, oh, there's a fight over here I want to participate in. The fight is actually, over, because we can see 2 people are dead over here. And the only other people that we see right here are Hanzo and Mercy. So, what, are you gonna walk over here and be the front line with Hanzo? Probably not. So, rather than go over there and take part in the fight that's kind of already done, just go up on the high ground. Here's also the other thing. They're at the bottom of the ditch right now. You do actually want them to be kind of at the top, because you can't see at the bottom of the ditch from on this catwalk. So you do want them to push up just a little bit further, so that you can actually shoot them from the high ground. So this is actually a good time to reset up onto the high ground, because that fight's not happening. You want them to get a little bit further, and it's not like you can do much over here anyway, unless you're going to stand up there shoulder to shoulder with Hanzo, and just probably not what you want to do. So this is actually a good time to go up onto the catwalk, because it gives you more of an advantage than doing this. That being said, Mercy comes in here and reses them, so the fight does start again, but it's still a good time to go up there. So drop it here. Yeah, she just gets fucked up, but you think you're gonna have to fight the D.Va, so that's the time you put the biotic field down as soon as you think the fight's about to start. So, you know, there's some stuff happening over there. Oh god, there's a Widowmaker as well. We are gonna go up onto the high ground in the near future, like, right around now, because we don't want to be down here. Like, we're not really achieving anything down here right now. We would have been better off going to the high ground. So we're going up there now, mostly because we have Tac Visor, I believe. We are gonna start a fight with the Widowmaker right here. So the scary thing is we did hear her use her ultimate right before we came through that doorway. Right there. So the scary thing is she might one-shot you as you come around this corner, but she's not looking at you, so it doesn't happen. Yeah, Soldier's not great at killing Widowmaker, but she's within your range right now, so you can kill this Widowmaker. We don't kill the Widowmaker because, you know, aim better, whatever, you know, not helpful. So we do use Tac Visor here. Like, that's fair enough, they're nowhere near cover and all that, that's fine. Here's the issue, though, you're about to lose the checkpoint. So, you've got, like, two options right now. And neither of them involve Tac Visor as far as I see it, because your two choices right now are accept that this point is lost, because most of your team is actually fighting in the ditch right now, and Orisa is dead, so she's not touching the point. So either you have to give up this point, or you have to go down there and touch the point. I would not recommend going down there and touching the point, because there's a Reinhardt and a Widowmaker down there, and a Lucio. You will get killed very quickly. You will touch it for a grand total of like 2 seconds and get killed. This is also why you don't want to jump down and use Tac Visor. The Reinhardt also has the greater possibility of no-selling you if you jump down and use it like that. So, either go down there and touch it, or just reset further back at the next point because you know this point's gone. Because we use it here, but like, he drops the beat as well. So we like get his ultimate out of him, which is like something and all that, but it's not really a good time to use it because you're about to lose the checkpoint anyway. So, and now we're in a really spooky location, but we just run right past them, and Bastion's actually set up in here, so we kind of run into him, and he saves us. So, now is also a good time to reset onto the high ground, because nothing's happening. Even though a fight is technically happening right now, like Lucio and Lucio actually just got fucking murdered, never mind. D.Va's over there, like a fight is still happening right now, but what's really gonna happen in this fight, right? Like, maybe, Bastion gets chipped a little bit, but basically nothing's gonna happen in this fight. So this is a good time to reset up onto the high ground, because the fight is not really happening. We do stand on, like, not great high ground this game, because we go up here. This is not very good high ground, but the enemy team never contests you up here, so you get away with it. But this is actually not a very good place to stand. We jump down right here. I'll talk about it in a minute, so we have a better angle to talk about what I'm gonna, like, try and convey. So we jump down for some reason. Don't really know why. We're gonna go back up there. So when we get back up there, there's a better camera angle up there, which is why I'm waiting. So we get up here. And so here's the thing, right? We come up onto this high ground. And yeah, high ground's really cool and all. This is a very dangerous high ground to stand on, because people can get on you here very suddenly. Because they can walk on the catwalk outside, and then they can just appear on the door that's right behind you, and then they're right in your face, and you've got no warning that they're coming other than hearing them coming, or they're right on top of you already. There's also the doorway right underneath you that you can't see, and that leads to the staircase that comes up here. So they'll be right behind you very suddenly. And here's the thing, if somebody gets right on top of you suddenly, like if you realize you have to run away, you have to take the worst retreat path ever, because you have to, okay, so imagine Winston jumps up here, Genji gets up here, some Reaper walks through the doorway and suddenly is on top of you. They shoot you, you're like, oh fuck, you gotta run away immediately, because you can't fight these people point blank by yourself. You have to jump off the high ground and follow the payload's track to get back to safety, or run through this alleyway, which is not much better. And you will probably get killed doing that. So this is a very dangerous place to stand, because they can get to you very suddenly, and your retreat path is awful. So your best option would actually be like jump off, go into the doorway, go downstairs, go all the way along there, and come out like that. But that takes like, it's gonna take like 10 fucking minutes to do that. So any other catwalk is better. You usually want to stand over here or over here because you can see all of the doorways. If you're standing here, you kind of can't see that doorway because the ship kind of gets in the way, but you can still see it a little bit. You can see the door, all of the ways in, and it's really hard to get to you because nobody can take you by surprise. There's no side way into the hangar. You can see all 4 entrances and you can just pressure all of them and the entire open area below you. Right here, you also can't, like, pressure the doorway right underneath you because it's right underneath you. Over here is also not so bad because you actually have warning if somebody's going to surprise you over there. Well, warning of the surprise. Because if you look out that doorway, you can see down the catwalk they have to go across to get to you, so they won't just pop out and surprise you. And the door that's right underneath you does not lead immediately to the staircase, so they can't just, like, come up underneath you. And your retreat path is also a lot better because you just do that. And then you're back over where you generally want to be standing. So this is a very scary place to stand. That being said, they never actually contest you up here. So you get away with it, but this is a very scary place to stand for the aforementioned reasons. So, D.Va used her ult over there. D.Va now getting back in mech. D.Va in the middle of our team. D.Va now fucked regardless of us, so we just start shooting over here instead. Genji's trying to go in 1v6 right now. We astutely observe that he is not really worth our trouble because he's going in 1v6 and he does indeed just get fucking murdered. Lucio's right underneath us, but he's also 1v6 right now, so, you know, don't have to worry about it. We're getting a little carried away right now because now we're starting to, like, we can see the enemy spawn door from there, so, getting a little bit excited. This is also a very unusual position to actually stall the cart, because, like, the hangar door is still open. Again, getting very carried away. Oh, look, Genji's right on top of us right now. Fortunately, our team is just in the doorway, so we've jumped down and we're right next to safety. And then we run out right as that happens, which is, you know, feels bad. Don't go back out on the low ground, just go back up to the high ground. So, like, even though Genji, like, gets on top of us, because our team is in a very unusual position, we can just regroup with them, and we're safe again. But, you know, it's kind of spooky. Like, imagine that this wasn't going so terribly for them right now. So, we, use Tac Visor right here. I mean, it's not terrible because Reinhardt just charged right past us as well. So we do just get to, like, shoot into all of these people, and they've got no barrier to protect them. That being said, we could have chose to go back up onto the high ground instead of, like, we came back out the low ground, got earth shattered. If we went up to the high ground, that wouldn't have happened. That being said, you don't even really usually want to be in that kind of position for that to happen. So, because you'd rather just be standing over here the entire time. So, you know, the enemy team, you know, they're getting fucked up right now, like, pretty badly, so don't have to worry about it for a few seconds.
I don't know. That team was really bad. I ulted right beside
yeah, Hanzo killed everyone. Yeah, they're not contesting, so it's fine, I guess. And your team is right under you if you need support, so, like, there's that as well, but, like, it's kind of spooky still. Yeah, Genji's using Dragon Blade. Really want to kill... Yeah, don't... Like, he's not going to go for you. If he's going to go for you, he's going to be already up on your face. So he's going for someone else. Just, like, shoot at that dude. That being said, it's hard to kill Dragon Blade Genji while he's just, like, flipping around on your team. So, like, probably weren't that likely to kill him anyway. But it's the thought that counts, you know? So, our team currently dead. We can come stand back over here, this is fine. This is a good place to stand, high ground-wise, if the enemy team is actually, like, getting to here reliably. Because then standing up on this catwalk suddenly becomes pretty spooky. And you actually can't see them from that side, really. So standing back over here, you can see into the choke point. So it's a very similar kind of position to looking into the ditch from the first checkpoint. D.Va's currently here, like, trying to fight us. There's no way. It's impossibility, so she uses her ultimate. We just leave. That's not how you play D.Va, just for the record. Don't, like, get up on the soldier, try and fight him and Mercy, and then be like, oh, fuck. Ult. It's not gonna work. He's just gonna leave. That's the kind of thing you do to the Bastion, right? Where you go, fuck, it's Bastion. Oh, I'm just gonna put my ult right on top of Bastion's head and fuck him. Soldier can actually, like, move quickly, so, you know, yeah, don't do that if you're playing D.Va. So, Orissa's using the bongo. We did have to jump off the high ground because, you know, D.Va was performing that maneuver. So we're down here now. And, yeah, we got knocked off the biotic field, and that's really unlucky, because, like, she comes in and does it right as we do it. And then running back onto the biotic field is death. But also, not going back to the biotic field was also probably death. But we get rezzed, so doesn't even really matter. This is actually one of the worst Dragon Strikes in recorded history, because you'll notice that where it originated, it actually just, like, completely skirted over the top of the fight. Because, watch where it's originate. Like, it starts right on top of us, so it's just, like, completely bypassed the fight and is doing nothing. So this is actually one of the worst Dragon Strikes I've ever seen in my entire life. So, you know, but, I mean, it's the Silver Hanzo, so you know how it is. We're feeling it way too much right now, Mr. Krabs. The fight's over. Even without looking at the kill feed, like, you kind of, like, look at baby D.Va, and you're like, yeah, I'll use Tac Visor. The more tragic thing is that we just heard Reaper try to use his ultimate 1v6, and, he got killed. But the voice line got far enough in that he didn't get any of that refunded, so that's very sad for Reaper. Don't do that if you're playing Reaper, also, by the way, just for the record. So unfortunately we don't have Tac Visor for this incoming push, which is going to be their last push. So that's like a perfectly fine time to use your biotic field because D.Va's coming right at you. But this D.Va doesn't know how to fly her mech, so she, like, let's watch that one again because it was really fucking sad, actually. Oh no, a disaster. Just fucking face plants into the catwalk, falls right back down, and it was really embarrassing. Here comes Genji. That's not too scary, but then Soldier appears as well, and like, well, now we gotta run. Very brave maneuver to use your Helix Rocket point blank on the Genji, because even if he, like, wasn't deflecting, like, you would still get hit by your own Helix Rocket, which is usually not good. So, Genji's using Dragon Blade right now. Shit, that's really spooky. Oh, he's dead now because he, like, Bastion's here. Tac Visor also happened. Oh, fuck, Bastion's still here. So, they just all killed themselves, which is very convenient for us, actually. The enemy team is helping us out a lot right now. Fuck, that's pretty spooky, right? But he's more interested in the Bastion. So, here's what I would do right now. Because Bastion just got rezzed again, because he got killed. Because, like, this business happened. But he got rezzed. He is gonna be the focus of the enemy team again. Well, he should be, anyway. Like, not necessarily will be, but he should be. I would just go put my biotic field under that dude, because what he's probably gonna do is he's probably just gonna immediately go back into turret form again and start shooting people. So I would just go put the biotic field under him and hope he doesn't die. He doesn't die anyway, but, like, God, is Reaper trying. God, is Lucio also trying right now. We do it in the end, but, like, as soon as I see him getting res, I'm gonna go over there and do it, because what you logically expect to happen is he's gonna now get focused again, so he's gonna need, like, as much help as he can get, basically. So, you know, that went pretty well. They got it into the hangar, which is usually where it gets decided. Like, I find it's, fairly rare Gibraltar gets decided on the first checkpoint. And it's, like, probably, like, 25% of the time I see it decided on the third point, but, like, most of the time I see it get decided inside the hangar, so, you know, it's about what you would expect to happen. What I'd expect to happen, anyway. I mean, that's based off my experience, so I probably shouldn't say it like it's empirical truth when it's not, but from my experience. So, enemy team, still roughly the same, normally in low SR. I mean, you know, cheese is kind of scary, so it's usually good to go up on the high ground. Sometimes you get that next level cheese, though. Sometimes you get the Junkrat that mine hopped up onto the high ground, and he just puts his cheese right there on the high ground instead. Oh, you can't see out that door, so that's the one that gets you. I usually walk out the low ground because I'm fucking lazy and can't be bothered to walk up the staircase. Because here's what's usually happening. I'm usually at alt-tab looking at fucking memes on the internet, and then I'm like, oh fuck, round starting, and then I'm just like, well, I'm walking out the low ground because I ain't got time to go upstairs. That's what usually happens. Is this good practice? No. But, lazy dude, honestly. I don't know if that's come across at any point. So, we've kind of just stomped all over them. So yep, there's Widowmaker over there. She's kind of she's not out of your range, but she's at the range where it's kind of hard for you to kill her. So it's a little scary to get into a fight with Widow. Because, I mean, she can one-shot you. You can't one-shot her. You can get very close, but you can't quite one-shot. You have to shoot her 4 times. Actually, you need to shoot her 5. You need to shoot her 5 times now, I think. Because of the damage nerf. Math is too hard. I think you have to shoot her 5 times now. So, yeah, you hear Genji walking up at you. You hear him. That's fine, but, like, wait till he actually gets there, because you want to put it down, like, as soon as the fight starts. And, putting it down preemptively, we end up he doesn't get on us super quickly, and we end up, like, not getting very much value out of it. And if we put it down, like, he might still kill you anyway, like, it's not impossible, but it's pretty unlikely if you wait for him to actually get to you. So there's Widow, that's kind of spooky. Don't do the hopping thing, right? Because, when you're fighting any actual sniper, I mean, Hanzo is not really a sniper, but if you're fighting a sniper, don't do the hopping thing, because if the sniper is just decent, just hopping around everywhere makes it way easy for them to actually kill you. Here's the thing, all snipers are actually aiming for headshots, right? Because that's what they're meant to do. So they are aiming for your head. So just like strafing, crouch, uncrouch, that's more effective versus a sniper, because they are aiming for your head. So don't do the hopping thing, because once you hop, you are locked into that arc. So if the sniper is decent, as soon as they see you jump, it makes it way easier to track your head. Well, you in general, but also by extension, your head. So the strafe back and forth, crouch, uncrouch is better when you're fighting a sniper. I mean, it's better in general because, like, the momentum thing still applies to most heroes, but snipers are actively shooting for your head. So if you crouch, oh, didn't hit me. Whereas hopping around makes it easier for you to get hit by a sniper. So she just kind of gives up. Yeah, don't get punished. Great. Always feels good when you don't get punished. That means you don't have to learn anything. So, so we do stand still very, like, we see this and we're like, fucking easy money right here. She's even, like, not actually full HP, so she dies faster than we're expecting. But we were kind of standing still, so Genji got, like, some free shots in on us. Our biotic field isn't up, and by the time we can put it down, we are already dead. So it's unfortunate. Maybe you live if you're not standing perfectly still while you're shooting at the Widowmaker, because you did, like, stop to shoot at the Widowmaker, but it's kind of just one of those things where, like, you're probably just gonna get fucked regardless in that situation, because you're cool. Like, you were going up onto the high ground, which you want to contest. You find Widowmaker just standing there, and you're like, sick, easy money, like any human being would be finding that. But it just so happens that Genji is there, and it just so happens that Genji is there while your biotic field is on cooldown. So it just all kind of just goes perfectly right for Genji, frankly. So you probably just get fucked regardless. And, that happens sometimes. What can you do? So we almost have Tac Visor. We come up here. Widow, not really worrying about us. I'm actually convinced this Widowmaker is pretty terrible. Yeah, that's fine. She's not exactly that great. I don't think I've actually seen her kill anybody. Not that I've been actively looking, but now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen Widowmaker get any actual picks, so it doesn't seem like she's very good. That's kind of the point of Widowmaker, just a little bit on, like, killing people. So, we're rolling in right now. D.Va kind of kills herself for us, which is great. That's just some easy money right there. He's running around on the plane, can't shoot him super well anymore. He's using his Earth Shatter right there. I think we used Tac Visor. Yep. That's fine. We decide to go in on the Mercy. I would try to kill the Genji first, because there's the possibility he just kills you. This is a very bold play. You could still, like, kind of... So here's what I do. I stand on the high ground for a little bit longer. Let's go back and actually, like, try and get a screen, like, a better angle for this. So, like, Genji's coming in over here. Like, he dashes in. You can still kind of see him. Maybe the pillar gets in the way. I try and kill him first, because you can kill a guy, with Tac Visor, you can kill a guy through a Mercy healing him. That's no problem. So stand up here, and if you can't see him past the beam, what I would do is jump off this way, like more away from him, and just kill the Genji first, then go for the Mercy, because then you can just sprint around the corner and kill the Mercy. And maybe you don't kill her in time and she solo reses Genji. Who fucking cares? He's already used Dragon Blade. So I would be more concerned with killing Genji first, because he could just kill you before you get to do anything. He doesn't, so, you know, but I would be more concerned with Genji first and then try and get the Mercy. So, oh god, very scary. Oh, suddenly, suddenly became hard to hit a Reinhardt, which is unfortunate, but, you know, yeah, they were, like, our team was, like, pushing anyway while that was all still happening, so great, awesome. Mercy's over here. We're running after the Mercy right now, as one generally does when one gets the opportunity to go for the Mercy. She, kind of runs into the wall for a little bit as well and makes it really easy for us. So, this is not really where we want to be, but the enemy, don't make any attempt to stop us. So, it doesn't really matter. I thought Lucio actually got killed from getting hit by that, but he didn't. It would have been pretty sick, though. Just fucking bat him out of the air. Fucking music, get out of here. People are trying to sleep. Even though it's only, like, afternoon, actually. So we won the game. It wasn't actually very hard. We did it with, like, almost 3 minutes to spare, so easy game, you know? Never really, like, the whole push, like, really, did we feel at any point like we might not actually make it there? No, it was pretty easy money. So, let's watch the play of the game. Who do you reckon got it? Bastion? Yeah. I'm really upset by that guy's name, because he has used the E in blue to also say eyes, so it's very upsetting to me. Oh look, he's just, like, killing people as they run in with their ultimates. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. Damn. I've been that Reinhardt before. Oh. He was like, I got it. I blocked this Bastion. Oh, shit. Sucks. Feels bad, man. So the biggest thing that stands out in this game is we could be positioning better. Like, the high ground we choose to stand on is very risky. We never get, like, contested up there, but it's very scary to stand on that high ground. So, don't generally recommend it, even if you think the enemy team is bad, because there's just such a high risk of getting punished for it anyway. And we could take more opportunities to reset up on the high ground, which we already talked about all those instances. So, and yeah, like you said in the email, you never thought like any of your attack visors were that good. Yeah, but I also don't think there were any better opportunities, honestly, because the fights were also one-sided, actually. Like, even though some of the fights were kind of prolonged, you could tell, like, pretty much immediately who was gonna win the fights, actually. Like, it wasn't really ever very close. So, yeah, none of them were very good, but I also don't feel like there were that many opportunities for a better one. So, you know. But those are the things that stood out the most in that game. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If I didn't answer your questions in the email adequately, let me know, and I'll try to expand further. But yeah, so thank you for watching.